This is Tess, and these are functioning, which is good. Um, the first thing, though, is that your base shape um, should be more neutral and not be like this wide open thing. The base shape should be um, just a more neutral position. So just gonna take these and scale those and close a little bit, something like that. Um, Maybe move them up a little bit too. Something like that. So I think that would be a little bit better. The other thing is you have this, I don't know how you managed to do this, but you've got this big mess here of all these kind of crazy surfaces. Um, so you should go through and clean out all this extra junk here. Um, yeah, there's loads of it. I don't know what all this is or where it came from, but doesn't look like you need it. Some of this stuff must be, I don't know what's going on there. Like, where is this head? It's very strange. I'm thinking maybe it's like everything's parented to that. Yeah, that's so strange. Anyway, yeah, I just did Shift P to unparent all that other stuff and then deleted that out. So that's kind of cleaned up. So yeah, that's what you'll want to do to fix yours is kind of make the base head more neutral and then delete out that other stuff. All this stuff was parented to that, so I selected it all, did Shift P to unparent it and deleted that and deleted out all the other kind of junk in the file. Next up is Jackie. Doesn't look like the blend shape got created, so also these aren't named. You'll want to name these groups, but I'll create the blend shape right now, and that works well. But the rest of them don't seem to. Well, I guess that's been edited a little bit. It's kind of subtle, but yeah, those are good. Actually, the other thing is before you create the blend shape, you'll want to delete history on these to get rid of the lattice. So let's create that again, and yeah, and you'll want to name those groups for the shape that they are. So yeah, those work well, and it's good that you made them a little bit bigger. And you might want to add some other facial details, ears and eyes and all that kind of stuff will be good to see on that. Next up is Morgan. Let's take a look at the blend shapes. Okay, they haven't been created. Um, oh, this looks like a bit of a mess. Um, the thing to have done was to, geez. So yeah, these didn't get duplicated, right? So the thing you're supposed to do is to start with the one group, of the head with all the stuff in it, and then, taking the group node, which you don't have anymore. So I would take a step back to a version. I mean, I guess you can delete all this stuff, maybe. And then it's kind of messed up. You don't really need those lattices to model these, but you can use them. What's up with these? Um, might get all this into like a group like that. So now, I've got the group properly, reasonably properly organized. And then edit, duplicate special option, and duplicate input graph, and then I'll move that up. And then you can make a few more duplicates, and then make whatever changes you want. I don't really like using the lattice, but just as an example, I'll adjust this. And let's delete history on this one. But you would duplicate them all first, and then you've got this group and this group, and create blend shape, and then this will work. So, get that organized, duplicate the group several times and move them up, and then model your shapes, and then create the blend shape. But the way you had it with all the different surfaces, just all disorganized and a big mess there is not going to work. So you'll need to go in and clean that up. Next up is Stephanie, and let's take a look at the blend shapes first. So that's working. That's a bit small. You might want to go bigger on that. That one doesn't seem to do. Oh, that's just the tongue. Okay. So yeah, you might need one or two more shapes. But the thing that jumps out to me is this file is kind of a crazy mess with all of these extra nodes. It's pretty nuts. I don't know where all this came from. The other thing is you have a whole extra skeleton in here, and I'm wondering what the deal is with that. Did you import multiple characters or something? Can we just delete that out? Will that mess? Oh my god! And then there's another one. And then yeah, just look at all these. You could try to do file optimize scene size and just check everything and see if it cleans up any of that stuff for you. It did clean up some of it, but you still might want to go through this and make sure you're using all this stuff because there's so much in here. Like I don't know why those are there. And anyway, so yeah, go in and clean up the file is the main thing. And then maybe you want some more facial shapes than just these. Next up is Rand. And it looks a little crazy. Looks like everything got a little stretched out, kind of weird. And you have more than one blend shape here. Do these do anything? No, I might delete that one. Um, yeah, your base shape looks kind of messed up. And maybe these are a little messed up. I don't know. Just the way the lip is kind of sort of intersecting itself and twisted and protruding out. Um, maybe that's intentional, but it looks, at least here, very strange. Also, you want other facial detail like the nose and maybe some ears, maybe some hair, those kinds of things. I mean, the blend shapes do work, which is good, but the shape to start is a bit challenging. So you might want to change that. Next up is Jonathan. I don't know if something went wrong with the file and it's not opening right, or if this is really all that's in there, but all there is this sphere that's been modified it slightly. So I don't know. Maybe you turned in the wrong file, or I don't know. So obviously not much to critique on this one. Next up is Jasmine. Blend shape hasn't been created, so let's try creating it now. See how that works. You probably want to name those heads, so change lighting to, oh, two siding is on. Huh. Are those lips just black or something? Or is the surface reversed? I don't know. But anyway, let's take a look at these. Those lips don't seem to really move with the shapes here, so I think I would take another pass at these shapes where all that, the lips and the mouth are moving together. Head one. It's not really that different. Now, what I'm guessing is that you made some adjustments to this by moving these shapes, but you moved them in object mode and not component mode. So I can see that it looks like you've moved the teeth together and moved the mouth down, and that's the way you've done it is not going to work. So for example, I'm just going to duplicate this head. Look at these side by side here. So if you want to move those lips together, you can't just pick this and move it. You have to pick the vertices of the lip. Let's do these both at the same time. Oops. And you move the vertices of those up. And then the same if you're going to move these things down. Oops. Well, let's go to component mode here. Let's say you're trying to do something like that. And then, as an example, create a blend shape. And you see how those move now? So what I'm guessing is that for some of these shapes you pick the lips and the teeth in object mode and move them, and that's not going to work. So you'll need to, I would just redo them and do it where you're making sure you pick those things in component mode and move all the vertices of those surfaces rather than just the surfaces themselves to fix that. The other thing is this is kind of like a little bit of a mess here, so you might want to kind of sort through some of this stuff. Like, I don't think you need these extra group nodes. Um, or do you? Yeah, I don't think so. And then, you know, put that all into, one big group. All the surfaces, anyways. Next up is Catalina. So the blend shape hasn't been created, so let's do that. You might want to name your groups there, and let's see if this is working. Yeah, it seems to be working okay. You probably, for stuff like this, you'll want to adjust the teeth as well. So they're, I think that's group 5. So for something like that, oh, also, yeah, I forgot to delete history on these before I created that, so you should do that. But I mean, I guess you can kind of see them there. Also, they should be white, the teeth, so you can see them better. Yeah, where is that? Here. And for some reason, that looks like it's higher up here. Oh, I think it's just starting in the wrong spot, maybe? It's not moving at all. Well, anyways, if it's in the wrong spot, I can just move it down. Yeah, I mean, I think that they should be in a different position in this base shape so that, the teeth start out. You have to move it in component mode, so I'll switch to component mode and select these. Move them down. Maybe move these up. And then they should kind of move when I adjust that. See the teeth kind of move with the mouth now? You see that? So that's a little bit better, I think. But one thing I'll just do it again. Before you, actually I'll just select all these. Just delete history, edit delete by type history before you create the blend shape. So select all these and make sure you get that one last and do create formers blend shape. Whoops. Oh, I think, let me just double check that I deleted history on all of these. Try it now. Create formers blend shape. Yeah, there we go. There was an extra node in there, which was the lattice node, which was left over because I didn't delete history on one of them. So yeah, and get those teeth to be white again, and yeah, that should be good.